Hi boys and girls, I am back again. This time I will be reading you chapters 1 and 2 from the Magic Tree House, Good Morning Gorillas. If you have this book with you at home and you want to follow along as I read, that's great. I love it. If not, you can just sit down, lay down, relax, close your eyes, listen, or you can just watch me read, whatever's most comfortable for you. So this is Good Morning Gorillas by Mary Pope Osborne. One summer day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious treehouse appeared in the woods. 8-year-old Jack and his 7-year-old sister Annie climbed into the treehouse. They found that it was filled with books. Jack and Annie soon discovered that the treehouse was magic. It could take them to the places in the books. All they had to do was point to the picture and wish to go there. While they are gone, no time passes at all in Frog Creek. Along the way, Jack and Annie discovered that the treehouse belongs to Morgan Le Fay. Morgan is a magical librarian of Camelot, the long-ago kingdom of King Arthur. She travels through time and space gathering books. In Magic Treehouse books 5 through 8, Jack and Annie help free Morgan from a spell. In books 9 through 12, they solved 4 ancient riddles and became master librarians. In Magic Treehouse books 13 through 16, Jack and Annie have to save 4 ancient stories from being lost forever. In Magic Treehouse books 17 through 20, Jack and Annie free a mysterious little dog from a spell. In Magic Treehouse books 21 to 24, Jack and Annie help save Camelot. In Magic Treehouse books 25 through 28, Jack and Annie learn about different kinds of magic. If you remember, in the last book we read, we learned about theater magic. So today, we're going to learn about another kind of magic. Chapter 1, Dark and Rainy. Tap, tap, tap. Jack sat up in bed. Rain tapped against his window. His clock said 5 a.m. It was still dark outside. Annie peeked into his room. "Are you awake?" she whispered. "Yup," said Jack. "Ready to find some special magic?" she asked. "Maybe we should wait," said Jack. "It's so dark and rainy." "No waiting," said Annie. "I'll get an umbrella. You bring a flashlight. I'll meet you downstairs." Okay, said Jack. He jumped out of bed. He pulled on his clothes and he put on a jacket. Then he grabbed his backpack and flashlight. Jack slipped downstairs and out the front door. Annie stood on the porch in jeans and a t-shirt. The air was chilly and breezy. "Don't you need a sweater or something?" said Jack. "I'm okay," she said. "Let's go." Annie raised the umbrella. Jack turned on the flashlight. They followed a circle of rainy light down their street and into the woods. They headed through the Frog Creek woods. The flashlight lit up the trees, the wet leaves and dark branches. Then it shined on the dangling rope ladder. Jack raised the flashlight beam. "There it is," he said. A circle of light lit the magic treehouse. "Morgan's not here," said Annie. "I can tell." "Maybe she left us a message," said Jack. He grabbed the rope ladder and started up. Annie put the umbrella down and followed. When they climbed inside, Jack shined the flashlight around the treehouse. Morgan Le Fay wasn't there, but the scrolls from their trip to Old England were. "Here's proof we found a special magic yesterday," she said. "Yeah," said Jack, smiling. "Theater magic." He had great memories of acting in a play by their friend William Shakespeare. "Did Morgan leave us a new secret rhyme?" asked Jack. He shined the flashlight on a book lying under the window. A piece of paper was sticking out of the book. "Yes," said Annie. She picked up the book and pulled out the paper. Jack shined the light on the paper while Annie read aloud. "Dear Annie and Jack, good luck on your second journey to find a special magic. This secret rhyme will guide you. To find a special kind of magic in worlds so far apart, speak a special language. Talk with your hands and heart. Thank you, Morgan." "What kind of language does she mean?" Jack asked. "I guess we'll find out," said Annie. "Where are we going?" Jack shined the flashlight on the cover of the book. It showed huge trees, partly hidden by mist. The title was An African Rainforest. "Rainforest," said Jack. "Good thing we brought our umbrella and flashlight. Remember the rain in the Amazon rainforest? Remember how dark it was under the treetops?" Yeah, said Annie. Remember the spiders and scary ants? Well, said Jack, not all rainforests have the same bugs. Remember the river snakes? Said Annie. And the crocodiles? Well, said Jack, not all rainforests have big rivers. There are different kinds of rainforests, you know. Right, said Annie. She pointed to the cover of the book. I wish we could go there. The wind started to blow. Oh, remember the jaguar? Said Annie. And the vampire bats? Wait, said Jack. But it was too late. The wind was blowing harder. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster, and then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 2. Cloud Forest. Jack opened his eyes. I can't tell what kind of rainforest this is, said Annie. She stared out the window. Jack looked out too. It seemed to be daytime, but he couldn't see much of anything. The quiet forest was covered with fog. Jack opened their research book and read. The misty rainforest in the mountains of Central Africa is called a cloud forest. Oh, I get it, said Annie. We're up so high, it's like we're in a cloud. Cool, said Jack. He pulled out his notebook and wrote, Cloud forest, rainforest high up in mountains. Then he read more. The African cloud forest is home to many animals, including elephants, water buffaloes, black leopards. Jack looked up. Black leopards? Don't worry, said Annie. Jack cleared his throat and kept reading. Antelopes, wild hogs, and gorillas. Gorillas? Said Annie. Don't worry, said Jack. I'm not worried. I love gorillas, said Annie. They're totally great. I don't know about that, said Jack. He pictured huge apes pounding on their chests. I like to study them, though. Write down their habits and behaviors, just like a real scientist. Whatever, said Annie. Let's just go. This will be a fun adventure. She took off down the ladder. Jack threw his notebook and research book and the flashlight into his pack. He hooked the umbrella over his arm. Then he followed Annie. When they stepped onto the ground, Jack could see better. The fog had turned into a fine mist. Jack and Annie started through the cloud forest. They walked around huge trees draped with moss. They pushed past tall shrubs and leafy plants. Wow, look at that tree, said Annie. She pointed to a fat tree. It had wide lower limbs, padded thick cushions of moss. It looked like a piece of furniture, said Annie, like an armchair. Yeah, said Jack. I better draw it. He put the umbrella on the ground. He pulled the flashlight out of his pack, and he put it next to the umbrella. Then he took out his notebook and pencil. As Annie walked ahead, Jack started to draw a simple picture of the fat tree. Hey, Jack, Annie called in a whispery voice. Come here, quick. Jack grabbed his pack. He moved around the tree and caught up with Annie. Listen, she said. Jack heard branches snap. Crack! A leopard, he wondered. Crack, crack! Jack nervously looked around the forest. Maybe we should go back to the treehouse, he said. We could read a little more and learn a little more. Annie didn't answer. Jack turned to her. She was grinning from ear to ear as she stared into the bushes. Jack followed her gaze. A dark, shaggy little head was peeking out from a cluster of leaves. Boo-boo? A small gorilla asked. We're going to stop there. Boys and girls, tomorrow we will read chapters 3 and 4. See you soon. Bye.